Hi YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Today I just thought I'd talk a little bit about my arthritis journey. As I've said in one of my previous videos, I will need to have both of my knees replaced. So that is something that I'm pursuing right now. Had a doctor's appointment today with my surgeon. And I'm always a little out of sorts every time I go to these appointments. And I can't really put my finger on what it is that really just sort of, I don't know if it's just the entire process. I don't know. I just can't. I feel out of sorts. I feel defeated every time. Instead of feeling like, okay, you know what? We're moving on to the next step. I always, maybe because I always have some sort of expectation, and then I get a reality check. For instance, I've always just conditioned myself to think, okay, you know what? I'm going to have both knees replaced at the same time. I'm not going to go through surgery now and then go through a surgery again later on. One trip to the surgery room under anesthetic, one recovery period, maybe longer, maybe more painful, but I was just sort of had my mind set on that it would just be that, and then the rest of the time recovery, building strength, getting stronger, getting back on my feet, feeling my pain diminish, less and less and less and less. But of course that was squashed today. My doctor was like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, so he said, of course your right knee is worse, so we're gonna do that one. Once you've finished recovering from that one, then we'll do the other one. So I guess that's probably a part of it, because again, another trip has proven to, last trip was set a whole thing as well too, because I thought, I was going to be able to have more control over exactly when I'm scheduled, only to, find out it was like a 9-month waiting period. And I'm like, okay, so then, I thought I could say, okay, I want to go in at this time, so I plan for that. Like, I gotta wait for them to let me know, and I could be waiting up to 9 months. So then that sort of squashed how I had sort of pictured myself preparing for it, and the things that I was going to get in place to get this done. And then now this just tells me that I'm going to have to do the surgery. I'm still going to be in pain for my other knee while I'm in pain for this one healing. And my other knee is going to be in agony because it is going to have to bear the brunt of all the weight, which it does right now because this one knee is so bad. I mean, they're both bad, but one, I mean, it tips the scale, right? And I know I'm doing that already now, but I guess because I just thought of surgery as that ending point, and then it was going to, I know I was not under any illusions that I was going to have surgery and then everything's going to be great. I knew it would be up to a year, before you started back in normal activities. But now, it's like the process is going to be even longer. Now I'm gonna have to recover from one surgery, then I'm gonna have to face going under the knife again. and then face all that recovery stuff again, and all the physio and all of that. And so I'm looking at probably like even 3 years before I'm, even done with this process, and probably like standing firmly on both feet. And I just wonder what other part of my body would have deteriorated by then to the point where I fixed my knees, and then now I'm a cripple again because the arthritis in my feet, or the arthritis in my ankles, or the arthritis in my lower back, or the arthritis in my upper back, my lower neck, or my hips, because I haven't even validated if what the state of concern is with my hips. So, I mean, any one of those can render me sort of immobile again, The arthritis in the lower back, the arthritis in the feet, when that flares up, I got to tell you, it's worse than anything that I feel with my knees, because there's no walking with that. With my knees, I'll walk and I'll limp, but you try to limp and bear on one other, or you use a cane. But I got to tell you, with the feet, there's no cane, there's nothing. It's got to be crutch, or it's got to be a wheelchair, because there's no way for your foot not to be impacted once it goes down on the ground. And I've tried walk with my heel, and it's still like, so yeah, I know, I know this video seems all over the place, but that's really just how I feel right now. And these are the challenges that this issue brings, and, chronic pain, and finding a way out of the chronic pain, and thinking that, there's somewhere just around the corner, maybe there's, maybe you get a few years of relief. I mean, for my knees, this will grant me many years of relief, but I guess I was thinking of everything as a whole, because while the other areas that are impacted in my body are mild to moderate, the fact is they're deteriorating. So I was hoping that before they became severely impacted, like my knees are now severe, I was hoping my knees would be replaced and I'd have some life to, a few years to live, and be able to enjoy life. I'm just so isolated in not enjoying anything, not being a part of anything. My daughter, so proud of her. She's joined a singing contest, and she made the qualifying round, she made the semifinals, and now she's going to finals. And for none of her performances, like, I couldn't be there when she made the qualifying round. The semifinals, which just happened last Saturday, I was watching on live stream. Her dad was there in the audience, but I'm stuck at home on live stream because of course I'd have to travel to Toronto for it, because I live in Canada, obviously Ontario, but I live in Brampton, which is a suburb, and the singing contest is in Toronto. I'd have to travel to Toronto. Traveling a long time is one thing, and if that's all that I'm doing and coming back home, then I can usually do it. But these contests are they're like 4 or 5 hours long. So for me to travel that far and then to be seated at a table, and I can't put my foot up, I can't stretch my feet out, that would be agony for me, not knowing how far the washroom is, not knowing the condition of the washrooms. I couldn't go, and it's, my cheers for my daughter, even when I watched her this past Saturday, when I was watching her on the live stream and watched her performance, and then she was the first name that was called. You know, she had to get 50% had to be from the 5 judges, and 50% had to be from the audience. And she was the first name called. And I was like, you know, my tears were happy, but my tears were so sad because, like, I should have been there videotaping and, you know, and being that source of encouragement for her. But, you know, but these are the things, you know, missing out on life through chronic pain and chronic illness. It's not fun, you know. It's not fun. So trying to take it one day at a time. And even though, you know, my hopes of just sort of doing this and getting it over with and hopefully have a few years of life where I can, you know, go on vacations, where I can enjoy stuff with my kids. And even though that has sort of been extended, I'm hoping that I will still have that time. I'm, you know, started my weight loss journey, and I'm going to start doing videos on that as well too, because I'm thinking, and I know that that will help me in this process. And you know, maybe, you know, getting the knees replaced and helping to sort of prolong reduce the deterioration on the other joints. You know, having less weight on those joints is definitely going to help. So I'm doing that, you know, doing the 1,300 calories a day, logging it in my my Fitness Pal, and I'm doing a 20-minute workout every day. Hard. It's sitting workouts now because I cannot do any type of workout standing. So it is chair workouts. And, you know, YouTube's good because everything's there, right? Everything is there. So, you know, so I'm doing that and still trying to look forward to the future. You know, I'm 47 and there's still so much more to do, so much more to enjoy, and I want to get an opportunity to do that. So yeah, so this is where I'm at today. I'm officially signed on the waiting list, did all the paperwork today, and I guess just waiting for them to call me and let me know when. Thanks for listening. If you too are, you know, enduring the daily pain of chronic illness, chronic pain, and you can relate, then subscribe to my channel. We can share the journey together. Our chronic illness may not be the same. I do have several that I'm dealing with. My degenerative joint disease, which is osteoarthritis, had really early onset, so it's caused like rapid deterioration in my joints, multiple joints, as I mentioned earlier. And I have Sjogren's syndrome, glaucoma, for which those conditions I'm going to do a separate video series on those. This video is a part of my Living with Osteoarthritis series. But yeah, we can support each other through this, because it's not easy. It is not easy. And sometimes another person that does not have the daily challenges, that another person that doesn't just the daily pain, oh my gosh, night and day, the person that doesn't deal with that, they'll never really truly understand. They can sympathize, you know, because I mean, everybody has a heart and can sympathize. I can sympathize with somebody just imagining what they're going through, but sometimes they don't understand, because I don't even feel my kids understand. I think sometimes they're like, hey, Mom, why don't you just do it? Like, what's wrong with you? You're not 100 years old, you know. Sometimes I don't even think they understand, but we can support each other, and we'll get through it step by step. We'll make it. So that's it for this video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being an ear. And if you like what you're seeing, subscribe and share and thumbs up. Thank you. See you next time.